So our next speaker will be Dan. So Dan has been involved with WordPress since 2019 and is currently the marketing director at Blue Liquid Designs. So Dan is a familiar face in the Filipino WordPress community and contributes by organising, volunteering and speaking at local and international WordCamps and meetups. Also a former chef with a passion for culinary arts, Dan sees WordPress as a community where involvement fuels career and personal growth. Wow, that is a lot of things about Dan, but today Dan will be talking about Beyond the Code, building your WordPress journey in a community that builds you. So please help me welcome Dan. So whilst Dan is just sorting out a tech issue there, what I want to remind everyone is that we have the sponsors doing a lucky draw prize at the end of the day. So I'm going to let you know which companies. So the companies that are doing the lucky draw prizes, that next door you can just go and enter, are Exabyte, OneSuite, Delivar, and Chip. Sorry, I think Delivar have dropped out. So it's Exabyte, OneSuite, and Chip. And there hasn't been many submissions right now. So if you go on the next break and apply, you have a very good chance of winning. So I encourage you to do that. You ready now? Okay, please welcome Dan.
Hello. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? All good? No more energy? Everyone stand up, please. Let's all stand up first before my talk begins. Let's do some stretching. Shake our hands, yeah. Let's stretch ourselves, our hands, our arms. Yeah, toe, butt. Yeah. I need to hear aha. Give me a loud ha. Ha. Louder. That's not loud enough. Ha! How about a ha ha? Ha ha ha! Okay. One loud one for WordCamp Johor Bahru. Louder. That's not loud enough. Come on. More energy, please. Let's go. WordCamp Johor Bahru. Okay. Yay. Thank you. Sit down. That's my talk. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. So, let's begin. Okay. This guy, he was so close to just walking away from it all. The passion he once felt started burning out. Drowned out by the daily grinds of deadlines, the weight of self-doubt, and that heavy feeling of just being stuck. Let's call this guy Juan. Juan poured years into this industry, but he was so close to just walking away, thinking, maybe this isn't for me. One night, while aimlessly scrolling online, a small event listing popped up. It was a local WordPress meetup. It was just a casual meetup, nothing too fancy, just a small meetup. So he'd seen similar pop-ups before and always dismissed them. Not for me, he said to himself. What could I possibly gain? But this time, something felt different. Maybe desperation, or maybe an old spark. It made Juan think. So he went, he attended. He found a seat in the back, of course, expecting to feel a little out of place and counting the minutes until he could politely leave. But then, people started sharing. They weren't just presenting on code or on their projects. They were actually sharing stories. Real stories of their own struggles, their small victories, and their aha moments. As Juan listened, something unexpected happened. It wasn't a single profound statement or a magic solution. It was the raw honesty in the room. It was the shared vulnerability, the quiet understanding that connected everyone in that meetup. One speaker talked about a project that nearly broke them. Another described the simple joy of simply solving a stubborn problem after weeks of frustration. Their voices and their experiences were relatable all of a sudden. They weren't just polished presentations. And that night, it felt like a window opening in a stuffy room, letting in fresh air. Juan realized he wasn't alone in his struggles. He saw people, just like him, going through their own issues and supporting one another. It became clear now that this wasn't just about WordPress. It was about the people of WordPress. And that night, a shift occurred within Juan. It was an awakening. So, he started showing up some more. Not just physically, but this time with his attention and with his full curiosity. He even chimed in a few times during discussions. Small steps, each one feeling a bit less intimidating. And then WordCamps started showing up on his radar. It was a much bigger stage, a much larger crowd. The old Juan would have recoiled, but this new Juan, he stayed, and it pulled him forward. So, he went. And there, surrounded by hundreds, he didn't find intimidation, but rather a magnified version of that small meetup. Bigger, better, and giving him a clear desire to do more than just attend. He wanted to be part of it. And so he began taking small actions, maybe by helping others online or lending a hand at his local meetup. This consistency, one after another, slowly transformed him into the active, engaged community member that he is today. No longer just using WordPress, but now contributing and truly helping it breathe, evolve, and grow. Juan's story isn't about some dramatic overnight transformation. It is about the quiet, cumulative power of showing up. For the community, yes, but just as much for himself. Because in that simple act of being present, he rediscovered his passion and worth. He became a testament to how a community can quite literally build you. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it, how often we underestimate the impact of simply being here today. Juan's journey highlights something fundamental, an unseen architecture of growth that forms when we genuinely engage with our communities. This framework isn't always loud, it's not always obvious, but it is incredibly powerful. So, why should we choose to be part of something bigger? Think about how simply showing up changes the dynamic in a room or an online presence. Like Juan, just by being there and listening, you can offer quiet encouragement. Your voice, Your unique experiences, even your silent attention, can give someone else the courage to share, or maybe to ask that silly question, or maybe to just feel less alone. You might never know whose day you've made or whose perspective you've shifted just by being there, authentically you. When you contribute, whether answering a question, volunteering, sharing a solution, or organizing something small, you are not just giving away your time or your knowledge. You are planting seeds. You inspire others to step up and share their own. And this creates a beautiful self-sustaining cycle. You're not just fixing bugs, you're not just talking about a feature, you're literally encouraging other people. And that energy inevitably flows back, enriching the entire ecosystem, including you. And we often focus on the technical output, the themes, the plugins, the platforms. But the real magic lies in the human element. The WordPress community at its heart isn't just about lines of codes. It's a network of individuals. Think about it. Through the challenges of collaborating with other people, patience is forged. By understanding another person's struggle, empathy is born. And when you step up to take initiative, no matter how small it is, leadership takes root. And this is the community in action. People building people. When you step into the community, you often step outside your comfort zone. Perhaps you speak for the first time, or you tackle a new type of task. You become a mentor, or maybe you become a mentee. But it's in these stretches, these moments of slight discomfort, that you discover capacities you never knew you had. And just like Juan, who transformed from a quiet observer to an active contributor, you can grow ways also in many ways you didn't plan, simply because you chose to be part of something bigger than your role. And this ties everything together. It's the foundational act. Showing up isn't passive. It's a decision, it's a commitment, however small. And that decision, as we saw with Juan, can be life-changing. Not just for you, but especially for those people you interact with. Your story, your questions, and your simple act of listening, it could be the start of someone else's breakthrough. Because you never truly know the full ripple effect of you being here right now. But trust that it is powerful, and it's always there, making a difference. So, when we talk about growing in a community that builds you, it's not just a catchy phrase or the title of my talk today, but it is a lived reality. It's about recognizing that our individual journeys are deeply intertwined with the collective. The code we write, the designs we create, the content we publish, all of it is magnified and given deeper meaning through the connections we establish, the support we offer, and the inspiration we give one another. Perhaps you're here today feeling a bit like Juan, on the sidelines, wondering if you have anything to offer or if it's even worth stepping up. Let me tell you, your experiences are valid. Your voice needs to be heard, and your presence today is a catalyst. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be the best. And most certainly, you don't need to know all the answers. You just need to show up. Because when you do, you become part of something so much bigger than yourself. It's no longer about passively observing. You make a conscious decision to actively give your part. And in making that choice, you join in and help shape a community that doesn't just build websites, that doesn't just build softwares. It's a community that builds confidence, builds skills, friendships, and ultimately builds people. It builds you, and in turn, you help build it. So, show up. Show up to the meetups, show up to the contributor days, to the word camps, show up in the online forums, or in those seemingly small conversations in the hallway. And if you already are, keep going. Because every time you do, you never know who you might inspire. You never know whose life you're going to change. And remember, as you build the community, you will find that the community is profoundly building you right back. And while showing up is undoubtedly important for the community, never forget that ultimately showing up is most important for you. Thank you.